This one is called Pfeil, like Pfeil. And yeah, the reason I got this one was because there's just like a lot of crazy, not even crazy, but just like there were like some triggering statements that I was like, I want to know more about why this is so triggering to me. I also kind of have like this obsession with these like kind of lewd imagery. I have like a few like it's like my my personal collection. Like within my collection is my personal collection, where it's just like these are like I get a lot, like I purchase a lot for different reasons. I'm really into fashion, so I want to see fashion photography. I'm really into punk life, not like but like I feel like as far as like, you know, lifestyle, maybe not lifestyle, but just like, you know, the ethos of being punk and like morals and ethics, not like super punk, but I'm definitely like kind of punk. So I like to get stuff like that. I'm also really into culture. I get things for a lot of different reasons, but when it comes to like lewd imagery, I don't know why. I don't know. I just feel like there's something there that I just really fucking love. And it is just, I have an eye for that shit. I'm just gonna tell you. I find it. But anyway, so yeah, this one is really interesting. I'll read a little bit of it actually in this this is so okay, let's just go through this, like some of the titles of what's inside. So like we open with clay porn, and then we have, which I believe is actually the cover image. Yes, of course. And then we have our editorial, some more that I don't know because it looks German. It says fail, so I believe that's German. What does that mean? I move so like an old lady on my phone. It means arrow. A thin straight stick with a point which is fired from a bow. Okay, cool. So yeah, haunted by Norma and Norman on the violence of averageness and normality. Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. In song, I believe the thing that stuck out the most to me was this really long writing about the war on the air, and I think I may have thought of it differently than what they thought about it, but it is like an ecologies of disaster. And I think for me, I thought about it in a sense of like when I was working in public art, we did a lot of like collaboration with the railways, and we always had like discussions about who owns the airway, like, and I thought that was crazy that someone would own like the like the, like the air that's above like these railroads, but apparently they do, which was like a crazy concept to me. So I got it thinking it was maybe something about that, and then I read a little bit about it, and anyways, this is like, yeah. So let's read a little bit of it, and this is the editorial by Anya Dietman and Nina Cutler. So, from its anatomy to its death and diet, this issue focuses on the motif body and all its meanings, direct and indirect. For instance, as in relation to human and non-human bearers of bodies, its inhabitants like bacteria and organs, its social, medical, and juridical conditions, its intoxications, chemical processes, traumas, transitions, well-being, replacements, weaknesses, its opposites. Bodies take on different forms. In the photograph, I was here by Clara Lene Langenbach. A drop of blood like liquid sits in the palm of her hand. The liquid is meconium or pupil fluid and was left behind by a butterfly transforming from its chrysalis stage into its final form. Okay. In such a holometabolous metamorphosis, like, ouch. Like, okay, guys, I think maybe this is why I was triggered, because, like, bitch, when it gets sciencey, I'm like, is this just like bluff, or are you actually making sense? But because I don't know the words like that, I feel like it's like fluff. But I feel like maybe it's not fluff. But at the end of the day, it's art, and sometimes art is fluff, but is it really? The questions. Anyways, there's some really fucking weird shit in here, and I fucking love that shit. Like, yeah, I wish I could do that, but I can't. So, I mean, I don't think I can. I can barely touch my toes. Then there's some like stuff in here about I want to say this is about maybe, well, let me read some of it. At the end of March, when I should have been on my last legs writing this essay, tweets went viral in which a young woman, let's call her Pamela, shared the vulva plaster cast of artist Lydia Reese, and circled in red all those vulvas that, in her opinion, did not depict normal, i.e. cis, female vulvas. When people expressed their concerns about her endeavors, she doubled down and circled the ones she, a self-proclaimed expert, identified as obviously male. Pamela wrote that she had asked the artist if all the vulvas were intact because some looked mutilated, to which the artist replied that some vulvas were post-trans surgery. So I think this is why I grabbed it, because, okay, this is like real tea really quickly, and then I'm gonna just like end this because I don't know, I kind of enjoy reading this with my own commentary. Anyways, I have a lot of queer friends, right? And I feel like sometimes when you don't know something, it can trigger you because you're like, I should know this, but like also I just don't have the experience to know things, right? And like every summer, maybe I'm queer, you know? Just depends on how I'm feeling and how hot it is outside. Here's the thing. I don't know anything about what the fuck they're talking about right now. Like, have I ever seen a post-trans op surgery of a vulva? No. Now, would I like to see one? Yes. And also, too, would I like to see how that surgery is performed? Yes. But also, too, I'm just like, how can one, like, okay, I kind of see what they're getting at here, but at the end of the day, like, not all vulvas are made equally. But I do kind of see what she's getting at. But her saying people should be able to know what female anatomy looks like. I'm a fucking woman and I don't like. I.e., neo-vulvae that are the result of gender-affirming surgery. Pamela then got into a terrifying rant about how vulvas created by surgery had no business being in a vulva diversity video because that was not normal. She was called out online, and people with vulvas drew her attention to the fact that vulvas occur in nature in all shapes, sizes, and configurations. Pamela went so far as to demand photographic evidence. That's right, she wanted clit pics out of her original efforts to educate others about the fact that there is indeed a huge gap in terms of medical knowledge about vulvas. She has become a woman who claims to be able to decide what is normal and what is not, or rather, who is normal and who is not. After all, in this case, it is not about the vulva, but about the person who is attached to it, who owns it. Well, owns? Okay, anyways. The person who has the vulva between their legs. Pamela may have her own trauma-related reasons for this, which I can neither judge nor do I want to, but more than anything, this example shows normal does not exist. Pamela underwent a cosmetic surgery of her labia as I'm reading the, whatever that thing is called, the extra explanation. I don't know what the name of that is. Surgery of her labia as an 18-year-old because she, according to her own statement, was persuaded that her labia were too big. The surgery was a disaster. The doctor made serious mistakes and removed nerves to and on her clitoris. This had led to her having little to no sensation in this area. This experience has made her an activist against cosmetic surgery on labias and for education about anatomically correct vulvas. Okay, there's so much to unpack here. I want to know who the doctor is. Gender, man, woman, because I would never let a man do anything on my vagina. Honestly, I would never let a woman do any type of surgery. I would never get vaginal surgery, which is why I'm literally like so anti-kid. Because like, if I had a kid, maybe I would want like vaginal surgery after that, which I don't want. So that's crazy. This is a crazy conversation. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is where I grabbed this because I was like, what the fuck, like, are these people even talking about? Like, it was like one of those moments where I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Okay. A lot of privilege going on in here. Okay, I don't know. I contacted the artist to ask if all these vulvas were intact because I noticed some look mutilated. Okay, well, she did notice that. And it's very interesting because looking at these photos, I can kind of see where she's getting with that. Like, there are definitely some big differences. Like, there is a lot different. Like, it went from, like, low-key baby vag to full-grown woman adult vag. Like, and I don't mean that in like a fucking weird way. I just mean that in like, yeah, like whatever. She told me some are trans post-op surgery. I have a big problem with trans post-ops being included in a vulva diversity video. Here's why. But I want to know why because they cut that part off and I want to know. Oh my God, it keeps going. What? Kind of love this shit. But okay. Because if it's a vulva diversity video, then I think having trans post-op vulvas is diverse in the sense that like what are we talking about right now? Okay, so like I'm not gonna get into the rest of this. The vulva obscura runs through the history of art, culture, and medicine, and because this is so, it is also not surprising that there are entire industries that want to offer solutions for allegedly abnormal vulvas. Yeah, but I mean, people get their buttholes bleached, people get their breasts done, like, getting your vulva, like, okay, first of all, this is, like, cosmetic. This is not, like, something that you have to get done, by the way. It's cosmetic. So anything cosmetic is, like, because you want it. It's not because you, like, need it. Like, if you have breast cancer, you can get your boobs done because you have breast cancer. Like, your surgery will be covered by your insurance because you had a medical condition. Like, you had cancer. But if you just wanted bigger boobs just for the sake of wanting bigger boobs, this is now a cosmetic issue. Like, this is not, like, medical, right? But I don't want to, like, do a whole rah because I haven't even read the whole thing. Like, this is, like, I'm just kind of skimming around and looking for vulva buzzwords. Anyways, all right, let's see what's next. I also saw Mr. Dev Hines in here, and I'm really sad that I didn't get my ticket for this motherfucking festival because I really want to see Blood Orange. I still saw Chicks with Dicks in here, so I was like, gotta get that. I love a good Chicks with Dicks pick. During life, I wanted to be buried in a mystery on a western estuary where seabirds nest, to drop into a piece of muck and shell, unnamed. Wind, low clouds, rain, and shafts of sun. Monks, poets, vapors of the deep. Now where do I want to be buried? Without an urn? There will be dirt that my ashes will disturb. Why an urn at all? Can't you burn into nothing? Isn't the sky what I expect it to become? Does gravity hang on to bones like a registry of comings and goings? Where to be buried, where to be thrown, from what mouth sing. This is In Song by Fanny Howe. Okay. So this is Raw on Air, which I'm going to get into later. Yeah, but it's just, like, really interesting because, like, working for a municipality, it's, like, you really learn a lot about, like, how the city is ran and, like, who owns what and who takes care of what and, like, what finance, like, bucket certain situations come out of. So, I mean, like, if you pay taxes and you pay attention to where your tax dollars go, maybe you know that, but it took me to actually, like, work for the government to know that, because taxes have been normal since the day I started working, when I shouldn't have been paying taxes. So just pay the tax and go about my day. Well, until I got older and I was like, the fuck am I paying for? And I was the only person in my office who actually lived in the city I was working. So my tax dollars, I was basically paying myself, like, whatever. Okay, I guess I'll stop there. I think also too, there was just, like, a lot of, like, kind of performative ass shit in here, and I was like, triggering. But I wanted to hear what the people had to say, because there was also some really, like, interesting conversation, and I feel like no matter what, like, academia, writing, art, there's going to be some performativeness. Like, if you're, I haven't even read the whole thing, so I shouldn't have, like, I shouldn't have, like, a serious, like, opinion, but they're, like, assholes, you know? Now, oh, I thought this was really interesting too. I keep saying that as the time goes up. How does tattoo ink stay in the skin? Which, Never actually considered that. As I have like literal fucking tattoos. Like, never considered that. And this is written by Holly Hunter, who says, as a tattoo artist, I see my job as a facilitator of shape shifting, and I take this process of transformation seriously. For me, the act of getting a tattoo is both profoundly weighty, saturated with meaning. Sorry, my eyes, and it's getting dark, and my glasses are in the kitchen, and I'm not gonna go get them. With meaning, and also extremely light, silly, even meaningless. I hold both these feelings as equally magical and sacred. Everyone who comes to get a tattoo does so with their own intentions, and the list of these intentions is limitless. Some are explicit and specific, such as the desire to mark a specific occasion or memory, to retake ownership of the body after a traumatic event, or to celebrate connection to heritage or subculture. Some intentions are more like a gentle undercut, such as the development of a personal style one wishes to communicate to the world, or part of a process of rebellion from a particular ideology one has felt constrained by. So she talks like a little bit about seeing some cube flesh that kind of like shows you how the ink gets in there, but oh, and then also this was really interesting. Have you ever bought the morning after pill? Or how to practice reproductive justice activism? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's kind of like this, like, oh, the first sentence really got me, and then the second sentence is like, yes, but like, I was really sold on the first sentence. Also, too, though, I have to say, like, I'm an American reading these entries, and I'm actually really shocked. Like, I'm not shocked that the conversations that everyone is having are so global, but it's like I am handing the pills in 1 hour to someone who can take them to Poland. How do you usually send the package? In an envelope? Yes, it's her who would bring the package to Berlin. Now we are discussing how to distribute them in a safe way. It's a very small package, 19 pills. I can show you a picture later. They both prefer to have the pills delivered by car. I need your name, and your surname can be fake if you prefer. I am thinking of using a shoebox. If they cannot organize some people, then we can ask your friend. I'm unsure if they open these packages to investigate them, but maybe you can put something on top. Thank you very much. The package was extra secure. I just sent it today, and for now, there's only 5 in this package, in case the package has a hard landing in customs or something. But I'm a little bit confused by this because how to exercise collective disobedience. Go to your nearest pharmacy and buy morning after pills. You can find a variety of brands such as Ella One. Oh, this is very helpful. Thank you, Jesus. Ella One, Postinor, Escapel, Levanel, and Pidanam. I don't know if this relates to France, but as well as range of prices starting from 18 euros to 35 euros. Some of them contain levonorgestrel or ulipristal acetate. Their effectiveness depends on the timing within the menstrual cycle, so don't be surprised if a pharmacist asks about your last period. Choose one within your budget, and those who receive your donation will take care of the rest. Next time you go on holiday, consider choosing a destination with limited access to emergency contraception. Yo, like, also too, bitch, contraception policy. Hello, I'm coming from motherfucking Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, this is not working. Where, I don't know, abortion's illegal. So, like, I had no idea. I gotta get into this because I'm curious to know more about, like, the fuck's going on in Europe, like, as far as this shit goes. Because I know the whole world is really trying to go real quick. And so this kind of stuff is really important because also things happen, and like imagine I don't know what's going on and like something tragic happens to me and I need a morning after pill like stat, and I can't even get one or they'll kill me. Okay, this was another thing that really fucking triggered me, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Because I don't really fuck with bestiality like that. And this is by Maja Smerkar. Sorry if I butchered that, if you ever see this, but it's not on purpose. Sorry. Manuel Vason. And then this is K9 _ topology hybrid family. And there's not really much of an explanation on this one. I don't know what's going on here. And I think it's like striking image in the sense that it definitely makes you feel something. Now, what does it make you feel? I don't know. And do I need to do more research on these people? Perhaps I do. Could just be like some like esoteric ass shit, but things get weird sometimes. I'm not one to judge, but things do get weird sometimes. And yeah, but so yeah, I was like kind of hesitant to purchase after I saw that because I was like, I'm also not a dog person like that, but I could totally see myself like pretending to breastfeed my cat. So now would I actually do it? Like, nah. I don't know. I don't think they're trying to sexualize it at all because, I mean, on the other side, she's literally pumping for a baby. But it's just like nuance. I'm friends with nuance. It's okay. So we're almost at the end here, and I will say that overall, I'm looking forward to reading more in depth about what these people have to say and who are these people and what gave them the credibility to write in this magazine, so that I can, hey. Now, Christian LaCroix mention, which I'm very happy about because I love Christian LaCroix. Just a poem called The Dream of Calories by Magabert. And I don't know what calories are, so yep. I will say I did really love this image in the back. I liked a lot of bows in the back. Fashion in the body. I think any fashion conversation is interesting. Like any conversation, I find it interesting. Because, I mean, after all, we're forced to wear clothes. And so one must do so in a way that they feel comfortable going outside in their own bodies. So, hope you enjoyed this review. LOL. Bye.